Forgive me if I get a little sentimental about today's guest. Leonard Pickard was a prolific LSD manufacturer from the 90s. In fact, according to the DEA, after his arrest, LSD dropped by 90% in the United States. That's how much LSD this man was making, meaning that if you were taking psychedelics during that time period, you probably took some LSD that he created. Now, the reason I'm going to get sentimental is because when I was in high school, LSD completely changed the trajectory of my life for the better. I was plunged into this mystical, beautiful universe. And now I understand a lot of reasons that I responded to it. We're discovering now that LSD and many psychedelics seem to cause neurogenesis. They could be used as a treatment potentially for PTSD, depression. The discoverer of LSD, Albert Hofmann, even said that he wished the prohibition hadn't happened because at smaller doses, potentially LSD could work as something for ADHD, like a psychedelic kind of Adderall. Regardless, it was very important to me when I was in high school and after high school, and has been a great friend throughout different periods of my life. And so at some point, quite some time ago, I was on Rogan, and I think I talked about how insane it is that somebody like William Leonard Pickard was serving 2 life sentences in prison for creating what I would consider to be a medicine, something that really benefited me, and compared to a lot of the other illicit drugs out there that really didn't seem to be destructive at all. Now, before I go on, let me just say this. Please be careful. For you youngs out there, do your research. This is one of the most powerful chemicals on the planet. Don't go running to find LSD because my old ass is yapping about it. Look up brain development. You know, the human brain apparently doesn't stop developing until the mid-20s. And so, you know, if I could go back in time, I think I would probably wait based on the new research coming out. I just want to say that. I'm not saying everybody should take LSD. It might not be right for you. There's apparently some kind of genetic predisposition some people have. It could actually be the worst thing that ever happened to you. All I'm saying is I don't want to sound like some kind of idiot LSD advocate, like I'm ignoring all the potential pitfalls, dangers, all the things. Take it very seriously. I'm a dad now, I'm sorry. In the old days, I would never say something like that, but I do believe it now. Maybe I'm just preparing for the inevitable conversation I'm going to have with my kids about it. Regardless, it always bothered me that LSD had a 5-year mandatory minimum prison sentence attached to it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. The idea that you could go to jail for 5 years for taking something that seemed to expand consciousness, that seemed to open up the heart, that seemed to connect you to nature, and that the next day seemed to actually not have some kind of hangover effect, but improved mood. Now, that improvement would last sometimes for weeks. I just couldn't get it. Like, why don't they want us to take this stuff? It was very confusing to me, and it still is. But the prohibition obviously is still going on. It's still, I don't know, a Schedule I drug, something like that. But thanks to changes in the prohibition, people have been doing research on it in other countries. They're actually, I don't know if they're prescribing it yet, but at one point, many years ago, I actually bought stock in a company that was manufacturing LSD just as some kind of like ridiculous, silly celebration of the fact that finally you're moving past this insane, horrific, stupid, idiot prohibition on psychedelics. And William Leonard Pickard, he took one for the team. He was given 2 consecutive life sentences for manufacturing LSD. Thank God he is now out of prison. And I guess I just was like, talking about how insane it was on Rogan that this man was in jail. And then after they released him, someone reached out and said he wanted to talk to me. And we had a phone conversation and almost immediately became friends. I realized that I was talking to maybe one of the smartest people I'd ever talked to. And that since then, we've had wonderful chats on the phone. And finally, he agreed to do my podcast. I've probably asked him to do it at least 10 times. So he's here with us today. And I would love it if you would subscribe to his Patreon. He's got a wonderful podcast called The Last Alchemist on Patreon. Links will be down below. Now, everybody, welcome to the DTFH, William Leonard Pickard. Mr. Pickard, I'm calling you Mr. because of my deep respect for you. Welcome to the DTFH. And this is a cheesy way to start a podcast, but from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for the work you did for us. I am certain that I have taken LSD you manufactured, and for me, LSD was a net positive in my life. And the fact that you were sent to prison for manufacturing something that, when I was in high school, we weren't where we're at today. You're not getting therapy. I didn't know anything about Buddhism or any cosmic anything. And you stumble upon LSD and suddenly you're getting this download and you're realizing you're seeing past the tiny little world that you'd been programmed into. And I think I speak for a great many people. Thank you. And I'm so sorry that you got locked up